Corey Taylor of Stone Sour and Slipknot has ventured out on his own for his Evening With series of concerts. And with the trek almost over, he said it's been a very rewarding experience. With that being the case, he's created a firestorm of sorts recently, calling Scott Weiland a lazy after hearing the Stone Temple Pilots singer's effort on his Christmas album. He also ripped producer Rick Rubin during one of the shows for being scarcely there for Slipknot's Volume 3 album and calls him overpaid and overrated. He was asked if any of his targets have replied to his public musings.
Nobody has. Yeah, it's been pretty mum as far as that end is concerned. Yeah, and I knew they wouldn't, because they're so busy, playing their own part and whatever they're doing that I was like, whatever. What am I supposed to be worried about? Like, nothing they say is going to affect me in the slightest, And maybe that's why I've said the stuff that I do, because at this point I'm just a commentator, I mean, in a world where technology basically lets everyone be critics behind complete anonymity. I think people think it's refreshing to see somebody out from behind a computer actually speaking his mind and backing it up and being like, look, I have nowhere to hide. This is how I feel. It's easy to come up with a username and talk smack, It takes a lot of balls to put yourself on a stage and do it. So, and the fans love it. For whatever reason, they love it. And they know that when they talk to me, they're going to get the real deal. And that's, I'm proud of that.
Corey Taylor loves doing the shows, and he says the fans do too, because each night the questions are different, and he never knows what will come out of his mouth.
This isn't inside the actor's studio, This isn't a put on. This isn't being braggadocious or anything. This is just an evening with, and you never know what that evening's going to entail, basically. I never know what the hell's going to come out of my mouth, except for the songs at the end of the night. I've really just enjoyed doing this because, I've never really been able to do it with Slipknot. I've had brief moments of it with Stone Sour, but from a frontman's point of view and an out-of-control ego, obviously, that I do my best to rein in half the time, this is the perfect thing, just coming out and just entertaining, with no restraint, and hopefully people take something away from it, because if I'm not talking smack about someone else, I'm talking about myself at the end of the day, and I hope people realize that.
So what do his Slipknot bandmates think of the show?
I don't think they really care. I mean, at this point, they know me, and they just, I don't get the nickname Great Big Mouth for nothing, So, Clown was so stoked that I was coming out on this. He's just like, it's going to be chaos. I love it. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. It's, I think the band knows that I'm going to do my very best to represent, both bands actually know that I'm going to do my very best to represent them. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to insult anyone. I'm going to give my side of things and try to make it something that people enjoy when they hear it,
Corey Taylor's Evening With shows end for the year on December 13th in Orlando, Florida.
Creator, masochist, to which I cater. You don't need to bother.